Okay, so what we're going to do today is from side control, side mount, whatever you want to call it, submissions mostly for, we'll do some MMA stuff. So we have MMA, combat grappling, sport jiu-jitsu. We'll put those things together. So I put a video up on TikTok earlier, and this is a link to that that's going to go over a couple of the different submissions, position, and how to get rid of if somebody's framing or building a house on your throat. It's a lot of times it's more difficult than what it sounds or what it looks like to get rid of that post, so you can continue to attack and not have to be on the defensive. So we're going to break that down right now, and at the end of the video, if you have questions, comments, please let us know and we'll get after it. But for right now, if you didn't know,
now you know.
We're going to start this today is from side control. So what's going to happen is I'm here, side control. Now I'm going to end up, I'm going to sit through right here. Boom. A lot of times when I sit there, he's going to start posting, okay? So he'll make space there, and now I'm dealing out of this, okay? So it's hard for me to attack from here, especially if the guy's strong, okay? So now I'm just working for balance. In and of itself, when you sit out, this wasn't the video where I was going with this, but when you sit out here, I want to keep my head, my upper torso close, chest to chest. So when I sit out, he doesn't get the opportunity to start wrenching or start framing off on my face or on my throat. But a lot of times when you'll see when they sit out, they're here, they're tall. So then that gives them the opportunity to start framing and posting, okay? So we're from this position right now. Now, this is almost a stalemate because one, he's got the ground supporting him, so he's not going anywhere. I don't have anything behind me, so I'm gonna be doing this thing, trying not to go anywhere. And say, for example, from here, if he takes that leg and swings it over my head, he's got an arm bar, and we'll make that video later. He's got submissions from here, okay? So before I start fighting out of a bad spot or getting submitted, all I'm gonna do is my legs are gonna switch. So from here, you notice I've got control on the shoulder. I go here, boom. Now I don't have to worry about him framing or any of the arms. Now for MMA, from here, it's easy. That arm's already there for me. I control that hand. It's a baseball grip. Boom, boom, and now I'm gonna keep the pressure, scoot back. I've got elbows. Now notice it's not from 12 to 6, so these are legal elbows in MMA, okay? So I'm going from 3 to 9, bang, bang. Once I open up right there, see, I'll open up that that cut on the eyebrow. Once I've done that, I'm gonna slide this back, get my hand and open that up real good, and then go back and boom, you'll turn that little cut into a big gash really quick. So one more time with that. So side control, sit out. He frames off me, starts pushing. So I'm like, ah, goodness. So before I lose this position or get submitted, all I'm gonna do is switch. Boom, okay? Now, I was hip heavy. From here, it brings that arm over automatically. I didn't even touch it. From here, control the wrist, scoot back just enough to where I can get to his head. Elbow, so that's legal in MMA. Boom, scoot back, bang. So I got both sides of the head I can control there, I can punch. Now, let's go combat grappling or submission. So same thing, I sit out, he does the A-frame from here. All I'm gonna do is switch my legs. I got rid of that. Now, from here, there's things we can do. So my free hand, come back under, there. There's one. We'll only go through 3 today. There's one. So from here, I sit out, he frames. I get rid of that, boom. Now, I've got 2 hands here, obviously, in front of me. So what I'm gonna do is when I shoot this through, because I don't want to reach back anytime. So from here, that's already in front of me. All I'm gonna do, fold it. So when I push down, I'm not a big fan of using my hands if I don't have to. So when I stuck this in, I'm using my wrist. I push down, boom. That's one, submission there. Now, because I'm so head heavy on him that it's very difficult for him to defend because he needs to be on a hip to do something. But if you're already on his head, it's very easy. I'm only using, like, moving that much. So that's one, okay? Now, you can still finish the same submission from here. Now, if you notice, I want figure 4. 1, 2. Now, say I want to go back to combat grappling or MMA from here to here. If I just want to submit him with one hand, I'm going to pass that off. So if you notice, my arm, let me see. Oh, sorry, JJ. From here, all I'm going to do is swing it. Boom. Now I have that to get that out. Okay, there's no way to get out. If I can go back, I'm going to go to the elbows, forearms, all that kind of stuff. But in and of itself, I can submit just with this one hand. Boom. Okay, so we have there. So we'll work with that one right now. One more time. So I control. I sit out. He A-frames. I get rid of that whole thing. Now I got 2 hands in front of me. Okay, so the first one we did here, I came through. There's figure 4, 1 submission. 2 submission, but in and of itself, when I came over, there was both hands right here. So I'm just gonna come here, swing back, boom, and that one. So let's go through those 3 real quick. But actually, there's 4. So from here, MMA, I sit out, he A-frames, boom. I step over, I can, that hand's already there for me. I don't have to reach, I don't have to do anything. Control the wrist. Oh shit, sorry, shoot. Start elbow in there. Then once that opens up, it's a cut, boom. Slide that back up, take your hand, open that up, back and make it a big gash. That's 1. So from here, he bridges. Now get you, here's the main tool of this whole thing, the trick, if you will. All I'm doing is sitting out again. I went one way. Now there's no pressure on my throat anymore. Come through, so my palm is at my chest. Shoot it through, boom. I'm not even using this hand. There's 1 submission. Pass it off, 2 submission. Or here, boom. All right, boom. Sit out. He bridges, boom. From here. So we have 1, 2, or from here. Now I'm using the back of my tricep from here. I'll come. Boom. Now here's my hand. I'm obviously controlling his neck. Ideally, I want this elbow, my arm, at his shoulder or above. Boom. Yeah, so he's tapping. If it's back here where the meat, where the lat is, behind, underneath the shoulder, it makes it difficult. If he's strong and stubborn, like he can deal with it. But once I take this up high, then you got him. You put him to sleep quick. So in and of itself, those are a couple of different submissions, things you can do from side control. But the main thing was a lot of people, we had a couple incidences earlier where somebody was framing, pushing off the throat, and it was like a stalemate going back and forth. So there's more, if somebody's reaching for you, like A-framing or building a house, whatever you want to call it, there's a ton of submissions you can get from there rather than going back and forth and try to just deal with that guy's strength, because he's strong. Like this guy deadlifts like half the planet. So there's a lot of things you can do without having to deal with their weight, changing the angle or power of leverage. So if you have questions, if you have comments, hit us up. But for right now, if you didn't know,
now you know.
Oh, no, I'm trying to